Tonight, changes that affect all students next year, big events happening right here on campus, and everything you need to know about Clemson athletics. News nationally to locally, this is Clemson News Now.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Caden Hughes.
And I'm Jordan York. We open tonight with breaking news at South Carolina State as two separate shootings on Saturday, October 4th left one dead and another injured. Although the events are still under investigation, police initially claimed that they did not believe the two shootings were related, with motives remaining unknown.
Authorities identified the deceased victim as 19-year-old Jalea Butler, who was at SCSU for homecoming activities. Students were left in shock as the shots rang out amidst the beloved fall tradition, initiating a campus lockdown as the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division investigated the scene.
18-year-old Matthew Daniel McCoy was arrested following the tragedy, charged with possession of a weapon on school property and pointing and presenting a firearm. Although his alleged involvement in the incident is unconfirmed, sources claim that he retrieved a preloaded handgun from his vehicle and fired at a male in a red and black hoodie after witnessing a conflict between unidentified individuals.
Although the campus lockdown has been lifted, students report a continued state of shock and heavy hearts as they sympathize with the victims' families and their community. Countless students and visitors note their sadness concerning homecoming weekend, with local government officials giving their sympathies to those affected.
Some point to recent violence in the community, expressing concern for more possible issues in the future. Amidst the variety of commentary on the shootings, student Trey Newton offers a word of encouragement to his peers, claiming their motto, Bulldog Tenacity, as the way to move forward after these tragedies.
On Monday, Clemson students were all aware of a Canvas outage, preventing classes and coursework from being accessed. This worldwide outage was caused by a larger-scale Amazon Web Services.
The outage that occurred led to many people around the world being unable to access a variety of platforms, apps, and other services. About 6.5 million reports were received by the Down Detector website that more than 1,000 websites were offline. The outage occurred after a problem was caused with one of the AWS core bases in Virginia, which many web-based resources use as a hosting site.
Social media services such as Snapchat or Reddit, Canvas, and even sleep mattress company 8 all use AWS, causing extreme disruptions until the services were reinstated later Monday evening. The outage left many people questioning the reliability of the services that use the Amazon Cloud services and raises questions on the monopolies of major web companies.
Our Tigers also will be noticing some big changes regarding parking starting next year. Last Thursday, Clemson University announced it would change the parking policies regarding first-year and bridge students.
The changes come as part of Clemson University's ongoing efforts to alleviate the amount of student traffic affecting the area. The decision was backed by data showing many cars as being unused for long periods of time. As of right now, the specific details on what Clemson University plans to do regarding the parking regulations is not clear, but further details will be announced.
While parking plans are changing, one thing that stays consistent is the energy in Clemson athletics. We now turn to Katie in our sports department with all the updates in Clemson athletics. Katie, what you got for us?
After an historic start for volleyball in non-conference play, the same luck didn't carry over to conference play, and the Tigers sit with a current record of 0-7 against ACC opponents. This past Sunday, the Tigers traveled to Winston-Salem to take on Wake Forest, but quickly fell to the Demon Deacons, losing in 3 sets. They take on the Stanford Cardinals, seeking their first win in ACC play tomorrow night in Derby Gym at 6 p.m. On a more positive note, the women's soccer team took on Wake Forest last Thursday at historic Riggs Field, upsetting the number 17 Demon Deacons 1-0. After a slow start to the first half, freshman forward Juju Harris scored in the 71st minute of the match, assisted by graduate midfielder Renee Lyles and senior forward Maria Manuzos. They're headed up to Boston College to take on the Eagles tomorrow at 3 p.m. Following the Clemson United upset over the Duke Blue Devils 3-0, last Friday the Tigers faced the Seahawks of UNC Wilmington. 30 minutes into the match, senior midfielder Misei Yoshizawa scored with the assist from junior midfielder Mason Jimenez and sophomore midfielder Ransford Gion. Then, later in the match, with the Tigers already up 2-0, Yoshizawa struck Pater again and made it 3-0 Tigers. The second half saw a 4-goal onslaught and Clemson United made a statement, earning a 6-0 win. Just 2 games remain in the regular season, the first being Saturday night at Virginia, where kickoff is set for 6 p.m., and the season finale is a scary good matchup against Virginia Tech on Halloween night at historic Riggs Field at 7. On the gridiron, the Tigers fell to the Mustangs of SMU last Saturday, 35-24, in a rematch of the 2024 ACC Championship game. Following the injury of senior quarterback Cade Klubnik during the Boston College game, and Klubnik not making enough progress in warm-ups against the Stings, redshirt sophomore Christopher Vizina started in his place. Vizina played well above expectations in his first career start, completing 29 of 42 attempts and throwing for 317 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also made history as the first Clemson quarterback to throw 3 or more touchdown passes during his starting debut since Deshaun Watson in 2014 against UNC. The defense unfortunately couldn't keep SMU out of the red zone, and the Tigers couldn't outscore SMU. After the game concluded, Clemson fans also received the unfortunate news about Superstore sophomore wide receiver Brian Wesco Jr., who suffered a neck injury and was taken to the hospital. It was confirmed earlier this week that Clemson will not have Wesco for the rest of the season, but the good news is the injury was not as severe as initially feared. He is expected to make a full recovery with hopes for playing time next season. The Tigers have their final midseason bye this Saturday, and they will take on the Duke Blue Devils for the homecoming game next Saturday at noon. Get excited, Tigers, because crossover season is officially here. Men's basketball had their exhibition game against Presbyterian College last week, and the new-look Tigers will make their regular season debut November 3rd inside Little John Coliseum against New Hampshire at 7. That's all I've got. Back to you, Jordan.
Thank you, Katie. Looking ahead this weekend, it is the start of an exciting experience for students and families at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., kids ages 6 to 12 are invited to enjoy the 4th annual Halloween-themed batting practice at DKS, where they will be able to meet coaches and players of the Clemson baseball team and have some Halloween weekend fun.
On Saturday, October 25th, the Tigers will play the Alabama Crimson Tide at Doug's Kingsmore Stadium at 1 p.m. and also will be hosting the very first Clemson University Fall Ball Fan Fest. This event will have games, inflatables, food trucks, and more to experience on the practice fields behind the right field fence. The fest is open to all, families with a ticket as well as any student with their student ID.
Staying in the event world, Death Valley Nights are finally back. Buckle up, students. The King of Country is coming back to Death Valley this spring. Death Valley Nights, held in Memorial Stadium, was once one of the most prevalent concert destinations in the upstate region and will be returning after 26 long years of inactivity. George Strait will be performing on May 2nd, along with country stars Cody Johnson and Wyatt Flores in The Round, a center field stage setup that will allow for an even more massive audience than traditional football games or Savannah Bananas attendance in April of 2025.
Strait, with 27 #1 Billboard Top Country albums, is anticipated to host over 90,000 fans in May during his first return to Death Valley since the 1999 festival deemed the Country Music Lollapalooza that headlined Strait, Tim McGraw, Kenny Chesney, the Dixie Chicks, and others. While it's clear that this isn't Strait's first rodeo in Death Valley, he made his excitement clear by commenting, "Going back to Death Valley for the first time in more than 25 years feels pretty special. Can't wait to see you, Clemson."
To all of our country music fans out there, be sure to check Yes or No this coming week as tickets begin with artist presale on October 22nd, followed by IPTE members, staff, student, and alumni presales leading up to the general release on Halloween. Get your tickets soon before this cowboy rides away, because you know what they say, he's here for a good time, not a long time.
The weather is finally starting to feel a little like fall, and with Halloween on the horizon, Kate in our weather department has all you'll need to know while you prepare your costumes. Kate, what's the weather looking like this week?
Thanks, Caden. Well, Clemson, fall is officially here. Chilly mornings will continue into next week before heating up as we get into the afternoon. As we head into the weekend, we'll see temperatures reach the high 60s before dropping to the 50s throughout next week. Good news for those going to the Fall Ball Fan Fest. It should be sunny with mostly clear skies against the Crimson Tide. But stay warm during those mornings, as temperatures will be in the low 40s to start the day. There might be some rain to start early next week, so make sure you bring an umbrella to your classes. That's all the weather I have for today. Back to you, Caden.
Thanks, Kate. Our final story comes all the way from France, and in an unfortunate series of events, thieves robbed the Louvre, one of the most famous galleries in the world, the multiple pieces of jewelry during the daylight hours on October 19th.
Located on the Seine River in Paris, France, the Louvre is home to iconic pieces of art, including, but not limited to, works like the Mona Lisa and the Coronation of Napoleon. However, the target of theft was not art, as the culprits targeted the museum's priceless jewelry collection. According to the authorities investigating the scene, the thieves parked a truck-mounted basket lift near a balcony on the second floor where they forcibly entered the building through a window. Once inside, the thieves smashed open 2 display cases and were off the property in under 7 minutes. That's pretty fast.
Indeed. In that time, the thieves were able to steal 8 items, including 2 necklaces, earrings, a brooch, a bodice bow, and a tiara. These items come from different historic collections, with some coming from the Marie-Louise collection, the Queen Emile collection, the Queen Hortense collection, and the Empress Eugenie collection.
Altogether, the items have an estimated value of, hang on to your sats, $102 million. As of today, the museum has reopened for tourists, but the pieces remain missing. The president of the Louvre, Laurence Descartes, is set to appear in front of the Culture, Education, Communication, and Sports Commission at the French Senate to testify about the jewelry theft.
Well, Tigers, that's all we have for you this week. Stay tuned next week for more news, nationally to locally. I'm Caden Hughes.
And I'm Jordan York, Clemson News Now.